Everybody, if you don't have a seat or if you can find a seat, we appreciate it. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the Whitfield County Board of Commissioners for Friday, October 31st. It's a special call meeting.
Speak up, please. If y'all shush, you probably can hear them better.
Right. I think there's people talking.
Okay, we're getting ready to get started back here. I know a few people in the back couldn't quite hear. Thank you. So I'm just calling the meeting to order for October 34st. It is a Whitfield County Board of Commissioners meeting. This is a special call meeting. We don't take any action.
Mr. Chairman, can you speak up? There are people in the hallway that cannot hear you.
Okay, if y'all keep it
Can
down,
we fix that problem?
if y'all keep it down, we could probably hear them better. Thank you.
In the hall? Yeah, I don't know if I can talk to the hall, but I'll try.
You got people?
Ma'am, are you
doorway?
you're broadcasting this? Can they log on to your?
Yes, they can.
Somebody go out and tell them where to log on.
I can't hear that fly out here.
You should have your own equipment out there.
And they normally do.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead
Can
and
they
try
stand
to
on the
get
walls?
it under control, so if we could all just quiet down, we'd be able to go ahead and listen. Can we turn this way?
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We do have 4 commissioners present, 1 absent, but that meets our quorum requirement for a working session. There's no problem there. If you guys don't mind standing, we will place allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is a public meeting, so the vast majority of the meeting will be just public comments and listening to the citizens, any feedback you want to give us on both taxes and or budget finance type related items. I do have a couple of slides just to kind of level set some of the questions that I've gotten over the last week or so, and some data points to share with everyone just before we get started. So this first slide here, this just shows the history of the millage rate. We actually did have it all the way back to 2001, the history of the millage rate. I didn't put every year there, that'd make a really busy slide. But you can see it started at 6.67 back in 2001. And then we had a peak in around 2016. So that was kind of the peak for Whitfield County, at least, government 9.5. And then every several years past that, oh, I didn't approve the agenda.
Yeah, but that's
Okay. So every year after that, starting I think in about 2020, the last 5 years in a row, we've reduced the millage rate, and you can see it's more than half of what it was, or not quite half of what it was in 2016. Now, last year was a weird year. We had the initial billing back in basically a year ago, last November, this time last year, and that millage rate was 5.5. But I went ahead and put the second millage rate because we had that assessment, which almost never happens in the middle of a year like that. But that's what happened earlier this year, even though it was for 2024. It happened earlier this year. And so we had to set a second millage rate of 4.35. And that definitely caused some confusion because the state law and what you saw in the newspaper and what you've seen on social media requires us to use the last millage rate. And we'll talk about how much we collected in these two different millage rates. But basically, our collections were a year ago at 5.5. We haven't collected any money, or we're not planning on collecting any money under this second millage rate that we set in June of last year. So that's very confusing. But in general, the theme is in the last 8 years, the millage rate has come down, especially the last 5 years. Every year we voted to reduce the millage rate. Now, I totally get a millage rate is only half of the formula. The other half of the formula is those assessments that we talked about. So if you multiply the millage rate times your assessment, the millage rate can stay the same, but if your assessment goes up, then of course your taxes are going to go up with it, especially if you don't appeal or you can't somehow set it off with other exemptions like a senior exemption. So if you look at just the raw tax dollars, so this doesn't matter about the millage rate, this doesn't matter about the assessments that are in there or not in there. You can see 2016, again, that was kind of the peak year. We had 24 million. That's what all the citizens in Whitfield County paid to Whitfield County government in 2016. And then since then, even all the way through 2024, that's 8 years later, we are not just below what we paid in 2016, we are significantly below, over 4 million less than what we collected. Again, that takes into account all the growth of assessments, even new growth is in that. So if you built a house in 2018, we weren't collecting any money from you in 2016, that's in that number too. So obviously it's a pretty good reduction over the last 8 years as far as what we collect from the taxpayers overall. I did get quite a few questions like, what's going up? What have you increased in your budget? You know, why are you buying all these extra dump trucks, etc.? We don't buy dump trucks out of the M&O budget, so that's a separate budget called SPLOST. But healthcare is in our main budget, what we call our M&O budget. You'll hear us call it that from time to time. And the healthcare cost, again, looking back at 2016, because that was the peak that we collected. It's been going down as far as our collections, but our cost, just like your cost for eggs and your cost, everything in the grocery store since 2016, homeowners insurance, car insurance, everything has gone up. So has our healthcare expenditures. That's our #1 increase in cost since 2016. And it's gone up almost more than double, 187%. Again, in 2025, we haven't finished this year yet, but I already know it's over budget. It's gone up again over what we even estimated from 2024. So that number, 187, that's probably going to be 200% when we finish this year out. So that's a tremendous cost. Some people said, well, why don't you just change insurance company, get a better rate? Well, we're self-insured. So we're only paying when an employee goes to the doctor or has a surgery or gets a prescription fill. We don't pay insurance company and their margins and profits, etc. We're self-insured, so I don't think you can get much cheaper than that. All right. Again, the staff has reviewed all these numbers. They also collected this from surrounding counties, so we want to be competitive, no doubt about that, with our surrounding counties. So we looked at a $250,000 house. That's kind of the median house value in Whitfield County. And this is what a lot of the people have already billed for 2025. We haven't billed yet because we haven't set the millage rate. But a lot of these counties have already set their millage rate, already sent out their bills for 2025 because they didn't have that weird situation with the assessments that delayed us a little bit. And so you can see between Bartow, Floyd, Gordon, and Walker, all of those, again, this includes special tax districts. Some have them, some don't, but we included the full number for what you would owe these particular counties. And then Whitfield County, let's just start with the rate that we put in the newspaper, would be $663 for your county taxes, all in, for 2025. And that would put us, I guess, second from the bottom. Walker's a little unusual. They have both unincorporated and incorporated parts, so we'd be similar to one and a little bit higher than the other. And then Catoosa is the lowest for sure. There's no question about that. I will say this does not include school taxes, so don't rush to go to Catoosa because their school taxes are higher than ours. They also do not have a senior exemption. So if you're 70, you definitely don't want to leave Whitfield County and go to Catoosa because you don't owe us anything for a $250,000 house if you're a senior in Whitfield County. So that's another benefit. So these are the other millage rates. The 5.25, again, that was kind of the maximum allowed that we put in the newspaper. I'm not speaking for the rest of these guys, but I personally am not ever planning on voting for that rate. That was the maximum that we had to put in the newspaper while we were investigating some of these questions that we had about the digest, looking for other revenue sources and see what we need to do to balance our budget for this year for 2025. So I've never planned to vote on that one. We did have a 5.0 that we put on your assessment notice. So the notice you got in July had a 5.0 millage rate on it. And so that I'm a little bit more comfortable with personally, but if we can get it below that, that of course would be ideal. So if you say you don't want a 23% increase, a 20% increase, you're going to have a friend up here because I'm not for that, and I don't think a lot of these other guys are either. The 5.0, that was on your notice that was sent out in July. Of course, we can set it lower than that if we need to. If we go flat to the final 2024, that would generate $591 per house, $250,000 house, and you can see that would put us pretty near the bottom of our competitors around the North Georgia area. So that is my final slide. I can leave that up here, but I do want to I'll switch back to that one. But you're welcome to come up one at a time. As much as you want. Just a second. I just want to give a few comments. We're trying to keep it to 5 minutes because there's a lot of people here. I don't know how many want to speak or how many just want to listen. Okay, I'll approve the agenda first too. So, and of course, we want you to be civil, not just to the audience, but to us, and we'll treat you civil too, no name calling. And it can only be about taxes and finances. I did hear one other person wanted to talk about some other ones. We're happy to hear you at our regular meeting. It's a week from Monday. You can still come to that meeting and talk about anything you want, public comments, but we're not allowed to talk about anything. This is a special called tax meeting, so it has to be about finances in general or taxes specifically. I think that's everything I need to cover. We just need, I didn't approve the agenda because we got off topic with the with the crowd. Is there a motion to approve the agenda, which is basically just the public hearing on the millage rate? Motion by Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Staten. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. That's on a 3-0 vote. Okay, now we're willing to hear the first people. You're the first hand I saw, and I'll get her next.
Okay.
Please do state your name and address just for the record.
Steve Smith, 1590 Carlwood Road, Rocky Face. Okay. I've been in the cabinet business, either a company or myself, for 40 years. And I've seen the property double and double again on the values, on the values of property. And what I want to know is all these over $500,000 houses been built last year that's going to be taxed this year. All the duplexes, all the rental property, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars you're getting from last year above what everything else. So why even my taxes shouldn't even go up? I mean, stay the same maybe, but all comes in every year from all last 5 years, you know, building is boomed. 10 years you go back. I know in 08 and 09 it was tough, but there's so much being built right now. And that's good.
Yep.
I mean, that gives me, I'm semi-retired, but that gives me an opportunity to go out and build my cabinets with my hands, go put them in them houses for people. But why does taxes go up? Why does it have to go up?
Well, hopefully it doesn't, but to your point about the growth is very good. Actually, I've been working with the tax commissioner's office, our CFO. We've been trying to figure out that growth number and why it doesn't seem to be showing up as much as I think you expected and myself as well. So we're trying to get those numbers finalized right now. That's an excellent point. I totally agree with that. That is the goal when we are approving subdivisions or what have you, to get more tax dollars so they can spread it out.
I know.
So I agree with you.
I know there's dozens of over $500,000 homes going up, and some of them pushing $1 million.
Right. Now, we opted in, that's the other thing, Whitfield County, the schools didn't, but Whitfield County, we opted into what they call House Bill 581, which means even if your assessment goes up 10, 20%, you're locked in at either 3% or less increase. But the other thing in that House Bill 581 is it increased personal property exemptions, I think 7-fold. It went from like $3,000 to $20,000, which is good. That's great, but that took $100 million off our tax rolls for boats and planes and other things, and that's state law, and that's fine. I hope people take advantage of it. If you have if you have a small business like yourself, your equipment, if it's less than $20,000, you won't have to pay taxes on your equipment anymore. So that's a new one. That will be on your new tax bill. But that was what we were questioning, like, where is this growth? And they said, oh, well, you lost $100-something million in personal property exemptions, which is part of that same law. But again, I agree with the law, but that was one interesting thing. That's a one-year issue, but hopefully we can do something different next year.
Well, I've thought that every year about, because I see everything going, you know, I keep up with everything in the building industry. And, you know, every year, this is the first time I ever come to a meeting. But I just thought, then dealing with all this after last year, it's just not right. I mean, so I'll just leave it at that. You know, I'm just a concerned taxpayer.
Thank you. Yeah, if you want to make your way up here, then I'll get you right after her.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to see you again. So I'm here as a citizen, not a patriot, not a whatever you guys think of that I am. I live in Whitfield County on the south end of the county.
Who are you?
Oh, yeah.
I am Bling MAGA Lady, Roberta Sickley Curtin.
Address, real quick.
I would prefer not. I have a current case with the sheriff's department for harassment, so let's just leave that out. My mother passed in 2000. I bought the home that I grew up in. At that time, it was $125,000. Of course, I got a fourth off, right, because I'm one of 4 kids. So my family sold it to me for $125,000. I went and downloaded my property record, so I have all the records of how much taxes I paid when I bought the house. It was around $500. Let's just round numbers, right? I do accounting for a living. I like round numbers. You guys are currently charging me $2,100 for the same property. That is a 400% increase. The value of my house since I bought it has only gone up 200%. So you're taking twice as much as you're giving back to us.
That's school taxes also.
Let me finish, please. I will welcome any comments afterwards, but I have a train of thought. I answer to a higher power. Because you're taking twice as much as you're giving back. I turned 60 this year. I have 3 adult kids. They're all out of the house. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's a nice property and dug out, right? I don't need all that. But I can't afford $2,100 for property tax when my value of my house did not go up 400%. All I'm asking is for it to be equal. That's it. I'll pay whatever the county wants me to pay. I don't have a problem. But my house isn't valued at $450,000, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm here. I'm fighting for all the middle class and lower class people that can't afford the extra money you guys are asking. I mean, from $500 to $2,100, and most of those increases have been in the last 5 years. It was significant. And I felt it horribly because I budget. Again, I do accounting for a living. So I'm all about the spreadsheets and what I bring home, not net, but gross, what I can afford to live on. And like you said, everything went up. And yes, Donald Trump, you're not doing enough fast enough. So even though I don't have 3 mouths to feed at home anymore, as a good mother, I still take care of my kids when they ask for help. Because they can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford to own anything because of everything that's going on. Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida. So that's all I wanted to say is please no new taxes. That's it. And I appreciate what you guys do because it is not easy to serve the public. I've been doing this for 5 years in our state. I've been to every county on all 159 3 times. The people are not nice when you try to do the right thing. So I do appreciate your time and your efforts, and that's from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
I'm Ronald Tavares. I live on 4045 West Parliament, Barnell. My problem is our house hasn't gone up. It was built in the 70s. The value of the house hasn't gone up hardly at all. But in the last 3 years, our taxes has doubled plus. I don't know who does the assessments, but they need to be replaced. Now, I got a question on the record for you guys, not you, for these guys. Each one of you state your name, starting left to right, and would you or did you vote for the tax increase?
We haven't voted yet.
We don't vote till next week.
If you were voting today is the question.
We're still working on it. I definitely can show you the several options that we're considering,
Now,
but we haven't voted yet.
Now, every year, and I think most of these people in here can agree with me, our taxes go up, go up. And as I pulled up on the other day, this taxes cover our roads and all this stuff. now in schools. Number one, should a person that owns their home have to pay the county or state every year for the home they made, the money they earned, they pay taxes on. The money they pay for the home, they pay taxes on. The upkeep, they pay taxes on. Why should we have to pay our county to allow us to live in our own homes?
Amen.
I mean, that is nothing more than what these same type people and my people on my father's side did to the Native Americans. Come in, we're taking it, we don't care. Maybe y'all should go back to like on 201 and 2, those little two-story workhouses that got stacked on top of each other, wood sheds. We're putting and out there on the highway where y'all gonna put 80 houses on a 1/3 acre of land each. Get the developers to pay extra for that. Because the taxes shouldn't fall back on people like these people sitting here working, common day or hard working people
Yes,
that pay y'all salaries, even outsider salaries.
absolutely.
And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not fair. And I'm from Rhode Island originally. I was born there. I was raised in Dalton on Happy Top. Use your dad for a doctor. But my thing is, I don't care who you are, what you got. If you ain't got a true heart and an honest person, you don't need to be in any kind of position. Because we, the American people, stand, especially in this part of the country, for right. There's no right, middle ways, and wrong. There's right and wrong. And what y'all are doing with the taxes and allowing to be done with all these little houses and stuff being built around the county is wrong.
Hey, right.
And I know this, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the taxes, but also y'all are killing our purification for our breathing by cutting down the trees. Every tree that y'all cut down is our purification that our Lord Jesus Christ put here. To put in all these little bitty houses on 1 acre ground, 2 acres of ground. Y'all need to wake up and take responsibility for your own actions. Now, why can't y'all, okay, just say you ain't vote today, would you vote for it?
Not 5 1/4, no.
Sir?
Not 5 1/4, no.
Les?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I hope to do, to be able to do.
Vote against it.
Less.
Les?
Yeah, I'm already on the record saying less.
Okay. Because, and you guys and the other ones that's not here today, y'all need to make some changes.
Thank you.
One in particular.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the last couple of speakers raised a good point just before you get started, Stacy, about their taxes going up, which obviously I showed you, we're collecting less than we were 8 years ago. And so that's the bottom line number, including all the districts. So school taxes are still over 70% of your tax. Even no matter what we do, whether it's 5 or 5 1/4 or 4.75, whatever we come up with, it's still going to be in the county 70% of your tax. So when you say it went up, like I said, I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm not trying to tell them what to do. They set their own millage rate, but we've gone down 5 years in a row, and that's all I know. With less money and less taxes coming in. And in the city, I think it's closer to 75 or even 80% of your bill is school taxes because of the way that the math works out. But go ahead.
Yes, I'm Stacy Doran. I live in Tunnel Hill. So I understand that the school is the largest part, but you still have a part,
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and it's still $1, money coming out of everybody's pocket. So every increase is an increase and taking money out of people's pockets. So it's why we're here today and why we're concerned and why, I hear, so the questions just got asked, what would y'all support? And I get the feeling everybody's cozy with this 5.0 mil number, but the fact is anything over, the paper said 4.662, I think you had on a chart here that 4.35 would be no increase, so not increasing, right?
That I just said that was up there, the 4.35, that is flat to what we had in the July or June when we set the final millage rate, so that would be flat.
So, what the people here, I think, and I'll speak for myself, wanna see is, there should be no increase from
Amen.
last year to this year. It should be a millage set to where we don't see another increase, as everybody explained. There was huge jumps last year. I hear what you're saying, although I would just love to dig into that data on how the county is collecting $5 million less in the past 5 years. Because when I looked, I did pull data from the internet, so if you wanna refute any of these numbers and share with me how I can, if you have other numbers you want to refute this with, but as I look from the past 10 years in the county government spending, overall has increased $34 million. So I don't know how you could do without $5 million more coming in. The categories, the biggest categories, I won't go through all of them, is general government up almost $6 million. There is a $3.5 million culture and recreation, which I'm very curious as to what that is. What's culture and recreation that our county budget funds?
I don't know about culture, but the rec department is all our ball fields and everything.
Okay, so that might be
Youth
a label
sports,
that
we
was,
did, yeah.
okay. And the huge part of that is public safety, which, as I think everybody in here, we all think our county government, what should we care about the county government getting right? And that's public safety, public works, and anything outside of that, especially we're in these times of taxes keep increasing across the board, then we need to eliminate it. Whatever it takes to get to that rollback where we don't have an increase. Okay. We have to tighten our budgets when we can't afford what we used to last year, so we should expect that of you all in service to the county, to the citizens. Sorry, one more. Oh, so in terms of the building, so I pulled that up too, out of the 24 financial report that's on your website. And since 2020, there has been 14,487 new housing permits. That is 2020 to 2024. If you look at that housing permits from 2015 to 2019, it's 2,700. Huge. This is in your report online. So how in the world are we talking about needing to increase taxes when we have that many more, as other people have talked about, all this new building going on? So that's a huge question mark in my mind on what's going on there. You guys, you begged for our votes to get in here, and it's important that you listen to the people that voted you in here and listen to the concerns. I don't know what all goes on into how influence comes into a county and what gets done and what becomes the priority. I have some concerns that there's strings being pulled by people we don't really understand, and people are waking up, and people are not going to be happy with it. And as you see today, I think you're just going to expect more of it if you keep ignoring the concerns. So, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
If you all would please line up over here, that way we know you're gonna speak.
Sorry, I'm out of line. Good afternoon. My name is Stacy Kilgore, and my address is 121 Cherry Bark Way in the Grove. I have a question, but I have one question. Since this is my first time being at a meeting, I would like for you to introduce yourself to me.
I'm Robbie Staten.
Okay, thank you.
John Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Jevin Jensen.
Thank you.
Greg Jones.
Thank you.
Bob Civic.
He's not elected.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, this, from here on,
The employees,
these are
staff
staff.
members.
Oh,
Yeah.
staff.
That's
Oh,
staff.
okay. Okay. So my question is, my husband passed away about 3 years ago, and so when I got my tax statement of the assessment, I came to the office to see if I could get it to appeal it. And I'm 71, and I've been exempted from school.
And our taxes
But,
as well.
okay.
Mhm.
And our taxes?
County taxes,
County
you're
taxes?
exempt from county taxes now as well.
So I don't have to pay any?
Up to 200, I don't know how much your home is worth, so it depends. If you have a over $250,000 home,
Okay, so that was going to be my question. Where I live in the Grove, we have no street lights, no sidewalks, no pool house, no clubhouse. It's just a 30-unit, facility. And, when we first bought the condo, it was maybe like in 89, 90, and I don't mind giving that cost. So I'm not sure how it jumped in the last 3 years up to $280,000. But that's just a question that I'm asking. And another question is, why is the Whitfield County Education Department out of funds? And
we don't get involved in the schools.
oh, okay, okay, that's the school. Okay, well, just on record, I just have some curious questions, and this is my first time coming to represent me, my family, and everyone. And I just wanted to, put a face with the name on my paper. And I would check my tax assessment record again, but if it's under 250, I don't have to pay.
Yeah, if you said yours was 280, you would only have to pay taxes on that amount over 250, which is $30,000.
Okay.
If it's 280 minus 250, that would be just
Yeah,
a small
and
amount.
it's just an estimate, okay.
It'd be, $50, $60, I don't know, but it wouldn't be very much.
And the time has expired for me to reappeal again.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But you do have to apply for the senior exemption, so it doesn't happen automatically.
Yeah.
70.
Is it
She said
every
she's
year?
70. You only have to apply one time, and you're good forever.
I did.
Okay, good.
I applied.
You're fine.
Thank you.
We're going from this side. Oh, okay.
She was in line
Great,
first.
thank you.
Please bear with me. I've been sick and I did not plan to be sick, so I will hopefully try to make sure everybody can hear me. My name is Fiona Kinsey Dalton. Good afternoon, and thank you for letting me speak. I'm here today not to accuse, but to express deep concern shared by many residents about the appearance of impropriety and the growing disconnect between this board and the people you were elected to serve. According to Section 1221 of the Whitfield County Code of Ethics, the proper operation of democratic government requires that public officials and employees be independent, impartial, and responsible to the people. It also states that government decisions and policy be made through proper channels of the government structure, and that the public have confidence in the integrity of the government. But when this board proposes a 23.18 increase in property taxes over the rollback millage rate, a move that will significantly burden working families and to schedule public hearings at times that are difficult for many to attend, it raises serious questions, not necessarily about legality, but about ethics, transparency, and responsiveness. The Code of Ethics also prohibits officials from having an interest in any contract or transaction that may be subject of official action. While I'm not alleging any such conflict, I urge you to consider how your actions appear to the public, because perception matters. And right now, the perception is that the board is prioritizing its budgets over its people.
Amen.
You said this increase is necessary to meet the adopted budget, but the budget was created without first asking the community what we can afford. This is not fiscal responsibility, that's fiscal imposition. The mission statement of your own website says that your goal is to reflect dedication and progressive commitment to its citizens in all county matters to better enhance the quality of life for all. I ask you, how does raising taxes by over 23% in a time when inflation is already squeezing families, enhancing anyone's quality of life? I urge you to reconsider this proposal, at the very least delay the vote, hold additional hearings at accessible times, publish a full breakdown of the budget, and explain why increase in it is the only option. Show us that you are in fact listening. Because if you move forward without doing so, you may remain within the letter of the law, but you will have strayed far from the spirit of your own ethical code. With that being said, I'm just going to add a few additional things. There are many of us that, some elderly, some of us that are working hard. I went to college, I got a degree, tried to get ahead, but I'm still struggling financially. Many of us are in danger of losing our homes, and this is not helping. My house payment increased $200 because our taxes went up so much on my bill. My escrow was short, and I'm struggling. I don't know how I'm going to make my next payment. And so, I already cut my cable. I cut my phone. I've done all that I can to trim my budget. And we ask you the same thing. I mean, you are dealing with a lot of different things, I'm sure. But I just ask you to also think of us, the little people that are trying to make things through. I cannot imagine some of our elderly that are on a fixed income, how they're managing right now. You have to choose between buying food, paying for your home. My electric bills have been outrageous. I mean, it's just rolling and rolling and rolling, and there's no end to it. So I urge you to please reconsider and think of us that are struggling. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm still waiting for an answer from somebody I asked earlier about the occupancy limit on this floor in this building.
We'll get back to you.
I don't know.
We'll get back to you.
Still waiting on it. Okay, well, let me ask it this way. Were you only expecting a handful of people to come in here today at noon? Is that why? You're only expecting a handful, you could have your way with the rest of the taxpayers? Nobody's gonna protest? Wow, what a blank look. I have a question, a couple of questions. Are Section 8 properties exempt from property tax? And I think the answer to that is yes. So if they're exempt, why do they get county services? Kind of like going to a movie. You can't go see the movie unless you pay admission. Isn't that correct? Wow, another blank look. Corporate taxes the same way. No pay, no play. As far as I'm concerned, you can shuffle money all day long, but it's nothing more than a show game. So you take away taxes from the exempt people and force it back on the genuine taxpayers. Nothing more than a shell game. Y'all better get your budget in order. I was looking over some of your old reports. What's all this travel stuff? What do y'all really travel to? Why do you have to travel when everybody's got Zoom? Wow, more blank looks. I'm just not impressed with this board. So I'm still waiting for this answer. The property for the occupancy limit. I think y'all are in violation of it. And furthermore, I think if you had a 8 o'clock meeting at the Civic Center, which we are subsidizing anyway, you could probably fill it up with genuine taxpayers who are working presently, can't be at the noon meeting to meet your convenience. Am I correct? Wow, more blank looks. This is just a bunch of sorry board right here. Have a good day.
Sir, I didn't get your name.
Did you get a name? You didn't?
Hello, everybody. I'm Linda Powell. I'm here representing myself as well as my 2 hard-working children, which have some property and are going to have to pay a lot of taxes. Commissioners, I appreciate what y'all are trying to do, but take pity, take compassion, and take mercy, please, on the people of Whitfield County, especially the ones who are in dire straits, have not very much money, are working and trying. Have pity. Most of us, most of the people live on their Social Security and have very little income, I'm sure. Everything now is so costly and out of reach. Property taxes raised 23 to 25% is going to be sort of ridiculous. Do you people not care about the people in Whitfield County and surrounding area? What about the old folks who've always paid into their share of taxes. Some of the people are going to probably have to, as I've already heard, someone talking back there, will have to sell their place because of the raise in taxes, plus everything else that we have going on. Have pity, have mercy, but most of all, have compassion. Please stop raising property taxes that are going to be out of reach. I thank you for your time.
Teresa Curl, Dug Gap Road. I really understand that your expenses are going up. All of our expenses are going up too. The difference is you come to us for more money. We have no one to go to for more money. I've been a homeowner for 45 years. I've lived in this county for 4 years. I never had a reason to attend a tax hearing till I moved here. I've been at tax hearings every year that I have lived here. My taxes have doubled. Never had a reason to attend before. I don't understand why our taxes are all over the place. Last year you came to me, you told me I owed one thing, then you came back and you told me I owed another thing. Another $1,200. That's a lot for someone on a fixed income. So I don't really understand why everything is just not straightforward. And at a level, it just keeps going up. So I really ask you to take a look at the situation that all of us are in. We need some help. We don't need our taxes to keep increasing. For the situation last year of the taxes being one thing and then you came back to me for another $1,200, I look at it this way. I understand that everything I've researched, yes, it's legal for you to do that, but if I sold you a car and 3 months later I came back and said, you know what, I think that car's worth more, give me another $10,000 on it, you'd laugh. That's how I feel about my taxes. Thank you.
My name is Shana Morris, and I do not own a property right now in Whitfield County, but I...
Can you speak up, ma'am?
That's okay. I said, my name is Shana Morris, and I do not own a property right now in Whitfield County, but have been considering building a house in Whitfield County. And first I want to understand the millage rate, and then you said there's a school board. There's a different tax?
Totally separate.
Okay, can you explain that to me so I understand?
The school board is elected separately. The Board of Education, there's one for Dalton City only, and then there's one for the rest of the whole county.
Okay.
And they're both elected separately, and they have their own millage and their own millage rate that they set. Now, it all goes on the same bill, but they vote and are elected separately, and they set their own budget, their own millage rate. We have no control over that.
So they actually
and
do.
that's 70+% of your budget.
So that, I mean, so they actually control that part of the property tax is 70%
Completely.
or
They have
plus.
full control over it. And like we said, we've cut, not just the millage rate, but cut taxes 5 years in a row. So we didn't just decide this would be a great year just to raise them all.
So most of it's coming from the school
They have not
property
cut
tax.
taxes 5 years in a row.
Okay,
I will
and
say
so,
that.
and y'all have nothing to do with that?
We can't have any influence
So,
whatsoever.
do they have
Not
board
legally.
do they have board meetings as well?
Yeah, every month.
Every month?
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right. Cause that was what I was gonna talk about, so, but anyway, I will handle it there. Okay, thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello there.
Randy Waskell, 1151 Perch Run Drive. I noticed none of our electeds are in the audience today. Many of our citizens can't be here today because of the timing of this. I would ask that you reconsider the next noon meeting as in a different venue because we've got people out to the hallway. Obviously, it's a concerning issue. My question for you is what efforts have been undertaken to consolidate services with the other municipalities and cities in our jurisdiction? They're also county residents. This has been a topic for 20 years, but I'd like to know what you're doing to try and consolidate those services to reduce the taxes of everyone in the county. Secondly, where can we get a detailed budget breakdown by department? When I sat on the dais, I had access to that. I would like to see department by department, year over year changes. Is that available, and where is that available?
It's on our website under the finance department.
Department by department detailed accounting?
It's just a really long, PDF, yes.
Okay. Is it in Excel so that we can look at it and digest it, or is it strictly in PDF?
I think it's PDF.
It's in PDF.
Can it be made available in Excel so that we can, those of us who have some math skills can work on it?
It's not broken down how you want it.
I'm sorry?
It's not broken down how you want it.
You can convert it also to an Excel spreadsheet if you'd like.
Okay. But do you have any comments on what's been going on with the other municipalities and cities to consolidate services to drop the millage rates and provide better services? You know, others have talked about the new houses coming into our communities. Where I live, it's all rental properties that are going up, and as fast as they're going up, these little rabbit boxes are being filled up with renters. The renters aren't paying the property taxes, the property owners are, but as soon as sewer has gone out, the quality of our neighborhoods is degrading. The quality of our housing is degrading. How are we going to keep roads up? How are we going to keep all these other things up if we're not taking adequate fees and charges when these developers want to come in and build properties? I'm really concerned about that. In my neighborhood alone, in Varnell, we've got 2 different developments that are going to add over, proposed to add over 200 homes. We don't have the infrastructure for that. It's going to be a nightmare. But I would like to know what you're doing about consolidation of services and efforts.
Not much progress. You know, it's not something that I've been in favor, especially on the school side. I think there's tremendous savings on the school consolidation, having 2 millage rates, and they're like I said, the biggest part of the bill. I'm not opposed to these other services either, but we haven't made much progress. No.
Is that
some citizens don't want it, some people.
Is that because the county commission hasn't pursued it, or is that because Dalton City Council and the other city councils haven't pursued it? Or both?
Not recent. It hadn't been pursued recently by either.
Why? You said all options are on the table. That's an option we've got to look at. We've got duplicates of Public Works Department, duplicates IT departments, duplicate of a lot of things. Why can't those be consolidated? Thank you for your time.
I'm Travis Presley. I live at 1409 Freeland Road, Dalton, Georgia. Anyway, what I come here today is about the taxes. I moved to Pigeon Forge years ago after high school, bought some property there. My property up there is valued a lot more than my property here because I have a bunch of rental homes up there. But my taxes here are a lot more. How can, I mean, you know, according to that ain't, you know, I know y'all said school taxes, probably a lot of it. Maybe a lot of us need to go to a school board meeting and get the taxes down. But overall, my taxes are here more here than they are up there, even though my stuff up there is valued a lot more than it is here on 40 acres in one house. So that's all I got to say. We don't need tax increases, I don't think.
Is there anyone else that wants to speak? I did. Oh. He beat you to it.
Hello, Jose Morales, 703 North Selvage. Mr. Jevons, you started off the meeting talking about the reason why the tax increase, right? Everything's went up. Price of eggs, everything. We're all feeling that, okay? I'm a lifelong resident of Dalton. I work in one of the big carpet companies here in town. Have been there for 27 years. This year's been tough for everybody, okay? We have been working 4-day schedules the entire year, okay? 32 hours. So those folks, and that's a large part of our community, are struggling to bring food home, okay? So if you're talking about increasing taxes, that's added burden to those individuals. I mean, you guys have to keep that in mind, okay? Situation is bad for all of us, okay? And the last thing we need right now is a tax increase. That's all I have.
My name's Chuck Morgan, 150 Van Putnam Road. Don't really have any questions for you guys. I've just got basically a challenge for you. You guys were all elected. We look to you for the betterment of our county. That's what you're here for, okay? I'm not gonna repeat everything these guys have said, these ladies have said. It's obvious. You guys live in the same county we do, you know times are hard. You live in the same country we live in, you know times are hard. Hopefully that's gonna get better. And Mr. Jensen, you appreciate your numbers up there, putting it on, and yes, things have come down, but my challenge to you guys is that can come down even more with some smart budgeting, some level heads. We don't have to just raise stuff every time you turn around. It don't have to be. I mean, we all live in homes and communities where we have to budget, we have to live within our means. Same for our county, same for you guys. Yes, it's nice to have all these luxuries, and I live in this county, and I'd like to see, you know, just us have everything that we could possibly put our finger on. But by the same token, when I live at my house right there, there's things that I may want, but hey, it's not gonna be in the budget this year. We're gonna have to suck it up. We're gonna have to play smarter. We're gonna have to think smarter. We're gonna have to earn. And that's what I'm challenging you guys to do. That right there, you're talking about, well, yeah, we'll vote for the lower one. You can even bring it down lower. There's reserve that we have in this county right now. And I challenge you guys to lower that. I mean, not lower our standards. I'm not saying, you know, let's become a poor county that can't do anything, but you guys use your financial wisdom, what we put you in here for, to kind of look at some of these things, like Mr. Waskill referred to. Some of this, you can put some of this stuff consolidated. I don't know that being consolidated with the city's the answer, but some of this stuff that we do have in this county that can overlap or cause, you know, additional expenditures or stuff that, hey, look guys, can we cut this out this year? I mean, is it absolutely necessary that we do this? Because these people here are working hard for their money. Some of them, their money's, thank God that, you know, I don't have that problem. I mean, I'm making ends meet, and I appreciate the fact that I live in a country where that's happening. But there's a lot of people that's hand to mouth that they don't know, and when you hit them with that, it's coming down to, gosh, can I afford home, food? Can I keep a roof over my head? And that's a reality, guys. I mean, you know, I'm not here to bash you. I know it's a tough job, and you got a lot of people. You're not going to please everybody, but that's my challenge to you: is try to look at this stuff with compassion and a sense of finance here a little bit, and be real about it, and see if there's something that can be done and cut and help these people of your county. Thank you for your time.
Hey, Ryan Vaughn, 716 Farmbrook, Rocky Face. I have some questions, really. So, first question, do y'all talk to the Board of Assessors office before you come up with the rate, the millage rate?
Talk to the Board of Assessors. We have a member that attends their meetings, but they can vote and do what they want to do as far as the numbers. They provide us once they're finished with the raw data, yes.
So y'all know, like, they're up this year, the values are up for this year?
Marginally, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, for like the last
year they went up tremendously, yes. Yeah, we're aware.
So I know.
We didn't request that.
I know,
To be clear, a lot of
rates
people
have-
blame us, but that's
yeah.
fine. But we didn't request that, but okay.
I know, but your rates have come down. State of Georgia's the reason the rates are up. I mean, the reason the values are up.
The market.
Yeah. So, I mean, your values have come down because the values are up. Right?
I'm not sure which rate you're talking about.
The millage rate, yeah.
That's partially.
If not, our taxes will be through the roof.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, you came down because of the values.
Right, we try to
Yeah.
offset it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean-
what we did in the summer, and there's like $1.9 million in rebates going out, which that's never happened before. But
Yeah.
a couple thousand people are getting rebates, like
Yeah.
10,000.
Trust me, I know. I fought the values. So.
Oh, the appeal, yeah,
Yeah.
an appeal, sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate the chance to do that. So I've looked at a lot of values and things. So like on Connector 3, there's buildings right beside each other. In the last 3 years, ones went from $18 million in value to $13 million in value. Textile Rubber owns that one. Shaw Industries owns the building right beside it. It went from $18 million in value to $28 million in value. So when I ask if y'all talk to the Board of Assessors, I mean, somebody has to have some reasoning in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean,
But they don't have to listen to us.
yeah, but
And
it
they
looks,
often
looks
don't.
a little bad,
They often
guys.
don't.
Yeah.
But those meetings, most people don't realize, are public too. You can go
Yeah.
to the Board of Assessors meetings and say, why is this values wrong, or how can I fix this? Not just your own personal appeal, but just in general.
Yeah, but it affects us in
It does.
the residents too. So I have a friend here, we live in the same area of the county, and I have more property than he does. And his properties cost more than mine on the values. I have 5 more acres. We have basically the same size house, and his house is valued more than mine. My house went down in value this year. So, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, how are we figuring this out? Like, we all supposed to sit here and talk and figure out whose house values at what? Like, it doesn't matter what the rate is, if the values shoot up. I don't care if you come down 3%. You're going up 23%. If the values go, his value went up 25%, and you're going up 25%. I mean, just think how much his value goes down or went up. You know, even if my value comes down 25% and you go up 25%, I'm still paying the same amount. So I mean, there's got to be some kind of reasoning here, guys. I mean, is there any kind of solution?
To the assessed values, you know,
Yeah.
like appeals like you did, each individual obviously got mailed that. If they were happy with it, then I guess they are happy with it. But
Well,
they should have appealed, and 5,000 people, I think 4,900 people appealed.
Yeah,
And they're
and-
working through those appeals still.
And I can guarantee you, most of those people do not go, because I've gotten tons of Facebook messages. People do not want to go in front of people and appeal it.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's
Yeah.
a shame. Because I appeal, I go.
I
So
appealed 8 of them.
I'm not asking you to do anything I don't do, so.
My dad makes me appeal all of our commercials, so
Okay.
trust me.
Right.
I do.
And Sean Mohawk have attorneys and lawyers, they definitely are appealing, so I'm not too worried
Yeah,
about
well,
them.
Shaw, Mohawk, and Indian Forest pay 70% of all the commercial property.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they know how to appeal, trust me, they
Yeah.
know how to appeal.
Yeah, they also, I did the calculations, they have one building that pays $250,000 in property tax right across the road from me. So what happens if we lose their buildings? Like Shaw's building plants in North Carolina because the property tax is so high.
I don't know if that's the reason, but I know they
Oh,
are.
I know it is. I've taught. Trust me, I live in the flooring industry. We all live in the flooring industry. It runs this town. We have to be conscious of this stuff, guys. We cannot just look at it and say, "Oh, we're gonna have a high property tax." I know that
No, that's why I look at these other counties, I don't want us to be higher than most of these other counties.
well, they're not even building them in Georgia anymore. $500 million in North Carolina is the last Shaw building. We have to be conscious of this. We have to think, how can we keep the flooring industry here? Because it is a detriment to our town if the flooring industry leaves. So we have to think of this together.
Any other comments?
I hope we come to an agreement and can figure out how to come to a solution.
We'll work on it.
Do you all go to the assessor's court? And
I've been before, we have another, he's not here today, Barry, he typically goes every month, I've been several times this year, yes.
thank you. Appreciate your time.
Good afternoon. There is a perception in the community that the management needs to improve. And also, as other persons say, I don't know if you were expecting just a few people, and there is not conducive to the interest that the audience have, the space and the microphones and all that. So this is important for the community. Also, as you know, the Latino community is 53% of the city and about 34% of the county. However, there is no translation, and we pay taxes too. Also, there is a concern because of the value the assessors put in 2024, and then the amendment, and now the 25. So if we have many cases that the properties increased almost 50%, almost 60-70%. So if you increase taxes after that, how people are gonna live? And now the 25 is another increase, and now this. So there is a perception. So I don't know who oversees what or who, but it seems to be that there is no connection or there is no concern about what the community needs. That's it.
Does anyone else want to speak?
My name's Jerry Warnings, live out on Airport Road. U.S. Congress last week discussed illegal immigration is destroying our education system by the tax that's paid by the taxpayers. How can y'all address that?
Don't control the schools or tuition or anything like
Well,
that.
what about the lottery? Is the lottery not?
That's state managed down in Atlanta. And it's for, that's for Hope, the
Just
Hope
for
Scholarship for
college only?
college. Yes.
Okay, well, that was my question, and can I present this to you?
Yes, sure. There were several comments about the meeting, and we'll definitely take those into consideration as far as the space and the timing. All three of the meetings are exactly the same, so if you can't make another meeting or one of your friends couldn't come because it's at noon and they don't work downtown, that's not a problem. I mean, they can make any of the three meetings, they're exactly the same. We do have some at night. There'll be another one a week from today, but it'll be at night after 6.
When is the vote?
The vote is, what's that? After that public meeting, that same meeting, a week from today. So it's a week away. So you, like I said, you don't have to come to all three meetings because they're all the same, but of course you're welcome to, but we'll definitely consider the space suggestion.
So this education problem that I was talking about, does that?
Yes, yeah, we'll work on that.
Does that have to be taken up with the
We'll send out a notice and let everybody know.
with the educational system? Does that have to be taken up with the school board?
Yes, either Dalton or the county, whichever one you're interested in, but yeah, they're
Okay.
separate, they're separate. You have to go 2 meetings then, separate meetings.
Okay.
Are all the meetings gonna be held here, or are you gonna take a different venue for more people?
No, yeah, that's what I was mentioning, we'll work on that and move, look at moving the venue and send out a notice to let everybody know.
How will you send out the notice?
Devin, it's statute by the Department of Revenue that we have to have the meeting
When, but where, do they have to be, they can change the location or no?
I'm not positive on location.
We'll have to, like I said, we'll have to check on, see if they'll allow us to relocate it.
So how will you send out the notice, is my question? How will you send out the notice was my question?
We'll put it in the newspaper, and we'll also, if you're on our email list, we'll send it out to the email list as well.
Thank you, Devin.
But, we need to verify with our attorney and make sure we can change it.
Could y'all make that vote a public vote instead of just private?
No, it's always public. We're not allowed to have private votes. That's illegal.
Who is the, I'm looking at the org chart, and the Board of Assessors reports to y'all, is that true?
No, they're separate. It's a board, but it's
It's on
separate.
here, it's separate.
They're appointed. They don't
You appoint them,
We
and
can't
you
fire
want them
them.
to come to the podium?
Yeah, do we have any last minute questions? Please don't repeat anything. Yeah, go ahead.
First, thank you. The job you do is not easy, and we truly appreciate you. I couldn't do your job.
Oh,
That's
we just need your name for the record.
Oh, Sri Nara, West Walnut Avenue, Dalton, Georgia. Thank you again for the job you do. Really appreciate you. See, I think most of the confusion comes for a lot of us is, the tax bill is one huge bill. Your portion is 30% of that, and you, frankly, all said and done, you guys do pretty efficient job. No complaints. Okay. Huge portion is school bill. Okay. And the school board meeting, which I go all the time.
Oh, you-
Barely 5-6 people there.
I was gonna say, nobody goes. but
Nobody
it's
goes
you and,
there.
and nobody else.
When we go there, we're trying to talk about, there'll be, me or 1 or 2 people at the most. I have not seen more than 3 people there.
You're right, totally right.
And that's 70% of the budget. And then the second issue is the appeals and property valuation, Between school board and property valuation is where we're getting the bite from.
That's right.
And in our bill, in our mind, when we see the bill, we think of you, whether you're responsible or not, right or wrong, that's what it is, impression, okay? And so when we have this meeting, it would really help us if we have, somebody from the school board, if not the board, at least a member from the school board and a member from SSS office sitting on those meetings. you know, that because our bill includes all three of you, whatever all three of you do. And, you know, it's not possible for each of us to go through 3 separate meetings all the time. Because the concerns expressed in school board are like, oh, the line is long, blah, blah, blah. It's like, the bill is huge and nobody talks about it, you know. So it'll really help with these meetings, and it'll, you know, help a lot of us, you know, focus our frustration on the right people at least. If we have, you know, other people, you know, who affect our bill in the same room, at one meeting, have a representative, you know, you all will be obviously there because you need to sign off. But have the other 2 people, you know, somebody from Board of Assessors and somebody from Board of Education, so, you know, we know whom to focus on, you know. Please, that will really help.
I doubt they'll show up, but I will invite them.
Please.
I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, you can at least tell us you invited us and they didn't
Well,
show up.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I've not done that so far. It's a good idea.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, okay.
Jeanette Lawrence, I live on Airport Road. Who pays y'all salaries?
The same taxpayers that pay the light bills and everything else.
Who pays, and when y'all want a raise, who pays for that?
We all do.
The taxpayers pay for it. And you just think you can just sit up here and up our taxes, and when you want a raise, you just vote it in. We get no say-so on that.
We don't give ourselves raises.
I'm sure you do.
No, ma'am, we take the state minimum required, salary and that's it. That's set by the state, we don't take any additional. Now, my counterpart in DeKalb County makes $90,000 a year. So, they obviously gave themselves raises. So you're right, it's legal, but we have never done that I'm aware of, not 25 years.
So how much do you make? How much does each one of you make?
It's around 15,000.
$200-something a week.
They're pretty efficient.
That's a lie.
No, ma'am.
No.
Trusted servants.
I'll show you.
I get it.
And I offered to give mine back and people got mad. They said, you must be on the take. I said, I'm not on the, I can't win. So, so I take my $250. I take my $250 a week. I think we get paid every 2 weeks, so it's like $500.
Okay, so when does each one of you come up for re-election?
There's an election, primary in May of next year. 2 people will be up, and then 3 of us up in 2 years after that, in 2028.
So which 2 will be up next year?
And Barry's not here, but he's up. He's term limited, so it'll be an open seat. But there'll be 2 seats, including John's next spring.
Okay. May we have a copy of your oath of office?
Sure, it's at the courthouse.
It's at the courthouse.
Yeah, that's records you can have. Yeah. We all take the same oath statewide. Everybody takes the exact same oath.
So each time that you sit here and discuss raising, I know all of you is a lot richer than any of us. And y'all can sit there and say, oh, well, we need this for this. All this new stuff you're putting, all these new light fixtures up in Dalton, we didn't need.
We don't control the city of Dalton. That's it, the city of Dalton.
And it's the same thing everywhere. So, I know you can get your budget and find out a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really need. All these stupid roundabouts out in the county.
I agree.
If nobody knows to pull up to a 4-way stop and stop before they go, they don't need no license.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
But how much of our tax dollars went for that?
Yeah, we don't have all those numbers.
No, you don't have nothing. You just let them do whatever they wanna do, and you just say, oh, we'll tax some more money. We'll put more on that. The lottery was supposed to help the school system, and we end up paying way more than we have to pay for taxes, for school taxes. They need to find out where all the money from the lottery is going.
That's not, again, just a reminder, that's not us, but
Yeah, it's in somebody's pocket. And that's all I've got to say.
And Brian Doran, Chattanooga Road, Tunnel Hill. During the school board meetings, they have a financial person come up, and actually it's not done very well, but they share numbers. So you guys are considering an increase. Are you guys gonna, in these next 3 meetings, have anyone come in front of us and present us the numbers and to justify an increase? We see the numbers you put up there. I don't understand how we're taking in less money. We can study that later, but in any business situation where you're wanting to increase your budget, there's usually a budgetary meeting where information is shared to say, here are the areas that we're lacking. So here's why we need more money. But what it seems to me like is you guys are just saying, hey, I think we need more money. And that's not a real fair way to run a business. So I'll make it brief, but you guys have the opportunity here to keep it flat and figure out a way to make it work. And it would be wise to do so, because as you guys can see, and you guys that's come to the school board meetings that no one used to come to, now they're filling up, and now this room's filling up. And the only option we have as your constituents is our vote. And that vote will be different if we don't feel like we're being represented well. I do appreciate you guys. I know you're trying, you're constrained on what you can do, but in this example, it would be wise to keep this flat, and it would be a good faith symbol to your the people you represent, that you are looking after us and you listen to us. Thank you.
We'll work on it.
Oh, my question. Are you gonna have anyone come and present any information, or are we just gonna have 3 meetings of us griping and then you guys voting?
Not the vote is at night, at the night meeting.
But can you have somebody next Friday at noon come?
We have a person at every meeting, kind of like you said with the board of
But we don't have
Education.
anyone here that's shared any legitimate numbers other than the slides that you picked.
Right. We'll have
You know,
our
so that's
staff-
kind of
we'll have our staff
deceptive.
present. Well, the staff reviewed the numbers, I didn't make the numbers up, I promise.
So the answer is no. We will not be given information.
We will always have our finance person here at the meetings, yes.
Are they here?
Yeah, Debbie.
So can you explain to us why the county needs more money?
Okay, well, first of all, one of the things that's a little confusing is we're voting on a 25 millage rate. The budget for 25 was set
Which would be
last year.
easier to justify the increase if it already occurred.
That's the way it
That
always
budget-
works.
And that budget
That's what I'm
has
saying.
already occurred.
Right.
We had those
So-
meetings in December.
So we
last
should be
year.
able to see that information and
It's
say,
online.
It's
here's why
online.
this has gotta go up.
Yeah, several people have asked me that, all that's online, and those meetings you talked about for the budget, that was in December of last year for 2025.
Yeah, I
But we
understand.
collect taxes in arrears, they're always in arrears, as of January 1st.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what
Just
you're
making
saying.
sure.
We just weren't shared any information, is what I'm
All
saying.
of the budget.
I know, it's a very cumbersome document. It's a PDF which cannot be converted to Excel. That's not possible. And a lot of people, the spreadsheets were able to break it up, see where the differences are, put on it, take off stuff. You know, it would be helpful if that tool was posted as a Excel.
Or maybe sent out with the property taxes.
It's big documents, a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
that-
a lot of
No,
numbers.
I
A
don't
lot of
think
stuff
that
that
way.
wouldn't matter, but
But
smart
it-
people not like me could go through and see, and it would be, you know, we could actually see that. Here's where our county's costing us money, you know, here's where we're saving money, you know.
Yeah, you
Might
have
be a
rights to the
benefit
data.
to you.
You have right to all that data, so, yeah, we can.
Well, thank you for your time.
Make it itemized.
It will be. Yeah, it is. By account number, so if you want the account numbers, and they're in there, yes, ma'am.
My name is Elaine Beavers. I'm from 603 Elkhorn Way, Rocky Face, Georgia. My question is, y'all get insurance, health insurance, right?
You can, yes.
Okay, when you're out of office, do you still get health insurance? It's off, it's gone?
Right.
Okay, what about if you're, any type of retirement? Are you vested?
There.
There's a 401k style, it's not.
You know, like a 401k where we just put our own money in and then
Okay.
we get vested. Well, that's automatically vested because it's our money. I think there's a
Okay.
2% match or something.
So after
Like you'd
you're,
have in any business, really.
I'm sorry.
Like you'd have a 401k like you'd have in any business.
Okay, so when you're out of office, do we still contribute to your 401k?
No.
Okay. All right, that was my question.
My name is Chris Adams. I live on Hardwick Circle. I'm a UPS driver. I've delivered to this town 10, 11 years. My current route is in Walker County. I deliver in Flintstone. It's a real beautiful place. These property tax increases don't affect me much. I have a really good job and all this stuff. But I see things happening in Walker County and Rossville, particularly, where there's all these rental companies coming in, or rental properties being built. And the residents can't afford the homes. And then they have to be leased out or rent it. And all these houses that are being built, because I talked to this lady who works for the county, and she's telling me all this stuff. Like these people that are building all these rental properties in Whitfield County, Walker, all around us, Calhoun specifically, Gordon County, it's awful. And I don't even like delivering there anymore, and that's why I'm moved further up. Like I'll be delivering in Wildwood, Flintstone if I can retire there, Cloudland. I love it out there. But you see all these rental properties being built, and these property taxes don't really matter to these people building these duplexes and tall skinnies or whatever you want to call them, because they're just going to jack up rent. They're just going to lease these houses out.
Right.
None of this means anything to them, and we're just letting all these people move in to our county, building all these properties that they just don't care. They don't give a crap if their property tax or millage rate goes up 23%. That doesn't mean anything. They just raise rent $100 more a month.
Right.
But $500 extra dollars or whatever it is, a few hundred, it's a lot to these people. I had to take the day off. I had to use one of my only 8 days I get a year to come here and talk to y'all or to listen. And the fact that we only have 3 slides and just saying, oh, we dropped it 5 years and this is our first increase. I get it. It costs money. It ain't going to affect me, but it's going to affect a lot of people here and a lot of people in the county. And I just don't think it's right. And I don't think the whole letting all these developers come in and just build all these rental properties. And if we have all these more rental properties, how's there not enough money? Like each house is bringing in how much in property taxes? And like how much more do y'all need? Like it just 23%. I know y'all say it won't be or whatever.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be that, and I get it, and I know it costs money. And if it's going to good causes, I'm all for it. It's great. I want to see my community thrive. But when I look at Rossville from when I started delivering up there to now, it's awful. They have Lennar, this company that got kicked out of Florida for they built 400 something really crappy houses on the Seminole tribe land. They got ran out of town. And you know, I see all these companies just coming in out of state, have nothing to do with Georgia, nothing to do with Whitfield County, Northwest Georgia, Floyd, Gordon, Walker, whatever. And it's just concerning because I see these houses go up. I wonder if they're being inspected properly. My grandfather owned a drywall company. My dad did it for 35 years. I used to hang drywall when I was young, working with my dad in the summer. I went to college. That didn't pay anything. Worked at UPS. That's where we are now. So I get to go see the whole 307 zip code. I see how much it's changed in Calhoun from when that was my first route, downtown Calhoun, well, north end, then downtown. And it's crazy what they've turned Calhoun into. And I'm worried about what we're going to turn Whitfield County into. I see what they've turned Rossville in because I've delivered there every day. I pass through it, and it's just all these leases. No one's buying property. It's all these New York companies, Atlanta companies, probably companies not even in America. And it's very concerning to me that these increases mean nothing to a lot of these people that are getting increased on, because it's just $50 more in rent a month, $100 more rent a month. I just think if we can, the people that it's going to matter to, if we can keep it down and help them out, that'd be great. Because I don't want to, whatever law firm or whoever owns what, real estate group, BlackRock, whatever you want to call it, they don't care about 23% millage rate increase. But everyone here does, and I do. But if it's going to be something useful, I don't care. You know, I'm all for it. If you can tell me this is needed and this is why for free school lunch or what, well, I know that's a school board thing or whatever. But if it's going for good causes, I don't care. But these 3 slides just don't do it for me. I'm concerned with all the rental companies coming in, and I see it firsthand. 12 years of traveling thousands of miles a week to and from Dalton, our hubs on Connector 3. You know, I've lived in Dalton my whole life, 34 years. And I don't know, I just want y'all to take that into account. And I don't even have a question, that's just a concern.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Eric Gowan, I live out on Appaloosa Drive in Dalton. My question is the valuations. You know, y'all say we've got 4,100 appeals. Is that what it was? Somewhere down there.
4,900, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a big number. And so they're appealing for some reason. My property went from in 2023 to 25. The property value went up 98%. 98%. I'll tell you right now, if y'all can sell this house
For real.
for that value, I'll sign the papers right now.
For real.
I don't know. Are y'all not doing any kind of auditing or anything when you put these assessments out? And I know that's not your board.
So no,
But
we are not. You're
you
correct.
appointed them.
We appointed, and
So
we reappointed
what
new
does that
ones.
mean? So what does that mean when you appoint it? Are you not responsible at all? Or you just put a friend on there? I don't know.
Interviewed lots of people before we finally found somebody that would agree to do it. It's not a popular position. as
But
you can
why
imagine.
is somebody 4,900 appeals? Has the appeals complete yet?
Nope, not yet.
They're supposed to respond within 30 days.
No, they responded, but they have to hear them.
I didn't hear a response.
Oh, that's not legal.
So I'm telling you, the board is not doing its job. If I do finances every day, and if I have variances like that, it raises all kinds of flags.
Me too.
And it would in your budget too.
That's right.
Y'all need to take this serious, man.
Yes. Please.
I mean, y'all shouldn't have to sit up here and say, we got a 23% increase. There's a reason behind that.
Yes.
And it's not all on the spending side.
That's right.
It's the evaluation. So what can we do about it? Okay, so I got a question. My house I bought mine in 17 and it has went through the roof. 130, 140%.
You said you appealed, but they didn't get back with you.
Okay,
You need to follow up with them and say,
what
they
I'm
should
saying
win.
is somebody gonna go back and help me understand and help me evaluate that? Because I'm taking, also, I did some comparisons to my neighbors. Very similar houses, some bigger, mine's the smaller one in the neighborhood. And my neighbor right next door, I'm paying more taxes than he is.
Same.
And it's 20% difference. He's got a pool, I don't.
Right.
Please go downstairs to the 3rd floor and say, I never heard from my appeal. What's the story?
It's
Get
ridiculous.
feedback.
It's ridiculous. Y'all are asking for a lot from these people,
That's right.
and y'all need to take it serious.
Choose wisely.
Hey, I'm Melina Ray. I work with Coldwell Banker, and a lot of what you guys are addressing is property taxes. And the reason property taxes are going up is because post-COVID, housing went out the roof. Sellers decided that their 50-year-old properties were worth what new builds are, and they are charging $202 a square feet. That's more than the builders are charging to build, a lot of them. And so when they've got investors coming in and they've got people coming in that is wanting to build all these housing, the townhouses, the apartments, the ones on the bypass that are $2,200, that's supposed to be affordable housing for people. And that's where our taxes are coming from. I have investors that are trying to come in here from Columbus, Georgia, and from Valdosta, that's wanting to come in here and build 300 homes for people to move into. So the property taxes are going up because you're getting multiple houses. You're getting 300 houses on a piece of land that people might have 1 or 2 houses on. You're having farming that is being taken away because we do not have anybody who wants to work. We don't have people who want to farm. We don't have generations that want to take over the family businesses. You have people that are having to sell because nobody's there to work that land. And what's happening is it's going to investors that are coming in and building all these houses, and that's what's causing these property taxes to go up. So you can't sit here and blame these guys when we're allowing these people to come in from Cartersville, from Atlanta, from Knoxville, and build and buy our property that belongs to Whitfield County residents, and you're just giving it away because you're letting them come in and build these houses. So if you want the property taxes to stay low, then the property taxes can't be, your property can't be sold to where at 0.17 acre, 0.39 acres, those property taxes used to be to where you could pay them for a house. Now they're not, because they can put multiple houses on that one little spot, and I think you should still have half-acre lots for one house instead of having to bring the sewer all the way up to Tennessee line on Cleveland Highway just so you can have multi-housing units. And what's happening is people are wanting to take the land so that nobody has home ownership on your land, and everybody's paying HOAs, and everybody's living in communities, and everybody is being dictated to. And that's what's happening. It's not these guys' faults. They're sitting here trying to keep the property taxes down, trying to keep the millage rate down, but when you're allowing people to come in that are multimillionaires and buying property from us to build their 300 housing units and 135 housing units on small properties, that's what's increasing our property taxes. And interest rates went crazy. Post-COVID, you were having bidding wars because sellers were sitting on the property for weeks at a time, not even taking an offer until that bidding war was over and they could get $20,000 over asking price. And you've got appraisers that go in now and they don't appraise the property at what it's worth, they appraise the property at what it's listed at. So they're not even appraising it the way it should be appraised.
Help somebody.
So when you get appraisers doing their job that's supposed to be appraising the property at the value, a 53-year-old house should not value at a 2020 house.
That's right.
Then you're gonna see the pricing in housing change, you're gonna see the tax assessors change, and you won't be getting charged $1,600 for 0.17 acres because your house is built in the 50s or 60s and the house next door is built in 2020. The new housing that's being built, because of the pricing of labor, the pricing of material, the weight on material post-COVID, all of that has affected pricing. And the thing is, you should not be paying what somebody else is paying for a brand new build when you've got a house built in the 50s, and you shouldn't be selling it at that either, because that is not the right value. I sold a house in 2020, right around COVID, $129,000. That same house today is selling at $286 on the same amount of land. And it's because you've got appraisers going in there saying, oh, you got it listed at $286, we'll appraise it at $286, instead of going back to the value of what it's actually worth. So a lot of it is sellers, a lot of it is people paying it, a lot of it is buyers because the interest rates were so low, they wanted to get in there and get their house while interest rates were low, but they way overpaid, and they're gonna be upside down on that house if they sell that house now, because they overpaid on the house to get the interest rates where they wanted the interest rates. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate what y'all do, because y'all's hands are tied. Y'all can only do what you can do, and you can only do what tax assessors and appraisers and people like that allow you to do.
That's right.
So your hands are tied just like Trump. You
That's
have to
right.
go through the process. You
Yes.
have to go through people that allow you to do certain things. But what we're asking for is whatever you have to do.
Please.
Just like Trump does. Whatever you have to do, go to those people. Let those people know that you have a community that wants to pay the property taxes on the value of their home,
Yes.
but they don't wanna pay for like a city like Atlanta, because I have investors that have told me our property taxes are like Atlanta, that we are like a huge city. And I met 2 people this weekend, just this weekend, that moved out of Whitfield County, Highland Forest and in Barnell, moved out of Whitfield County to move to Tennessee because their property taxes were outrageous, and that's the whole reason they sold. And they built their house in '83. They built and moved to Georgia and lived here because they loved it here. And now they've sold their family home that they built and raised their children in because the taxes continue to go up.
That's right.
So, you know, we're just asking for us to be like a small community that we are. You know, we're all family people. We're all struggling. The whole United States at this point is struggling. And I know it takes time and it's gonna take adjustment, but it's gotta start with the small communities in order for the economy to stabilize and to be able to move forward instead of crash like we did in 2008. So we pray for you guys. We thank y'all for all your hard work and everything you do. I know most of you up here, y'all know me. So, you know, we appreciate what y'all do. It's not easy sitting behind that desk, and it's not easy sitting in that chair trying to satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but we're voicing our opinion.
Yes.
We know that you guys are listening because y'all are hometown boys. Y'all all grew up here, most of you did. And so just, you know, do what you can, as much as you can, just like Trump is doing, just like, you know, our political party is doing to try to make things easier on the United States and make our economy grow and us to be able to stabilize so that our children and our grandchildren can have property if they want to have property, so that they can grow, so that they can have a family on a farm and have acreage for their kids to play on instead of just a big multi-community like a Monopoly game. So, and like I said, we pray for you guys. We thank y'all. We're voicing our opinion like Charlie voiced. We know you guys are up there doing everything that you can, and we just thank y'all for all that y'all do.
Thank you. That is a good reminder. There is still early voting, and then the election is next Tuesday. There's 2 tax items on there. I can't advocate for them legally, but one of them will help seniors. So a lot of people were talking about seniors being on fixed income. It's $250,000, but that goes to $325 if you guys approve that. So that's a pretty good house in Whitfield County. It would owe us no taxes on that if you're over 70. And then the second item is for the schools to be in House Bill 581, which we are already in House Bill 581. That would force them to be into it. But that keeps your assessments, like we were talking about earlier. A lot of people complain about their assessments going up 50, 90% or what have you. You can only go up 3% from now on till the end of time. Only 3% in one particular year. Could be less than that, but it can go up only 3% as a maximum. So that will really, regardless of what the market does, which he had very good points about the market, that would only affect people that buy a new home. If you're staying in your home, you can only go up 3%. So that the schools are not in that, but we already are. So we would never have an assessment over 3% in the county. But anyway, go ahead and then we'll try and wrap this up.
Good evening, Claude Thomas, doing South End Doug Gap. My profession, I'm a safety director. Firstly, I want to address this is a violation. Number 2, you said the information about the senior exemption. Is that information posted? Because I see a lot of seniors here that didn't know that. Now, how we go about getting that information?
Well, it was voted in,
Yes, sir.
and then now it's going to be increased. So if you're already have it, then you don't have to worry about it. You just get the automatic increase if this ballot initiative passed. But yeah, there was a lot of publicity when it was on the ballot originally. I think that was 2 years ago, so it's been a couple of years now. But yeah, you do have to apply for it, only one time, but you do have to apply for it. And we encourage everybody, you can even get it if you're 65, but it's only for lower income folks. But 70, there's no income, everybody's eligible at 70 years old.
And then, you know,
So I mentioned it many times, I try and encourage that. Somebody comes up and says, I'm on fixed income, I can't afford this. Well, you shouldn't have to pay any taxes. What are you talking about?
and I think that information needs to be out there. And then, too, everybody's financial situation is different.
Oh,
yeah. Some people make 40,000, some people make 100,000, some people make 150,000. But we've allowed these developers to come in and they're tearing down our community.
Yes.
They're really tearing down the community because the sewage, just the quality of persons we getting, and also, you know, their taxes go up 23%. It's not gonna affect them because they're gonna put it on the tenant. But the tenant now is working 32 hours a week. And so now they got a 32-hour week check, and then they found out now that the landlord's going up on their rent because the property taxes went up, and it's a snowball effect. You know, and like I said, and I know everybody up here, you know, probably have a good living, but just hearing the emotions in everybody's voice, it's a concern. You know, it's a concern, and I know we all have a job to do, but I just think increasing the mill rate is going to further put us into a state here in Whitfield County where we don't want to be.
Exactly.
Quality of life is what the good Lord want all us to have.
That's right.
The quality of life. But raising taxes and keep raising taxes, you know, it breaks my heart because my house is paid for. But for the individuals whose house is escrowed, you go up on the taxes, now their property, they payments going up. $500 may not be nothing to me, but it's the world to somebody else. And I just think just hearing everybody's voice in here and seeing that most of our people here at this meeting is over 50,
Yes. Yes.
it's a concern.
Yes.
You know, my daughter moved out here because, for one, again, everything that's going on here in the community, we allowing these developers to come in. Right across on Hamilton Street, now there's a development gonna be right there down from Providence Ministry. You know, we really hurting our community. We really are letting these developers come in, and you know, it don't bother them by taxes because once again, they're gonna put that on the tenant. But I tell you, we live in a world now where my heart go out to everyone who's struggling.
Yes.
You know, $5 may mean a lot to somebody.
That's right.
And people say, well, you know, the taxes over a period of time over the year. Well, they can save $15 a month, then they can get that's, no. I heard somebody say that, well, if a person learned to put back $15 a week, and then they'll have their taxes for the year, a lot of people ain't got $15 a week.
That's right. That's right.
But like I said, it's just seeing the age of everyone here in this meeting, it's a concern. You know, like I said, we got a lot of work to do. It's two things to be fabricated. Numbers and words.
That's right.
And I say that in closing. Thank y'all.
All right, does anybody have any new information that hadn't been shared? We need to.
I got a question. Make a statement.
Well, he's coming up right now. Got to find him. And we'll wrap it up with you.
Yeah.
My name's David Stansel. I live at 1321 Donald Road, just outside of Dalton. Last year, we had that property increase, and I did all the information for my wife. She owns several pieces of property. I had a knee replacement. I ended up going and having, it went south on me. I was in the hospital when y'all had the hearing, and our property taxes went sky high. And there wasn't nothing we could do. We had to pay it. But this year, they reduced them, which I'm thankful for that, because me and my wife both are disabled and on fixed income. But now, as I look through the properties around our properties, I've noticed discrepancies in the size of properties and the value. I got a half-acre lot here, $18,000. I got a whole acre right here, right across the road, $17,000. I asked the Board of Assessors, how come that discrepancy? We don't know. and they're going, it's like one side of the road, it's $18,000 an acre. The other side of the road is $18,000 a half acre. Now, somebody's got to do some checks and balances on the assessors, because something's not right. If I just noticed this in just a few pieces of property, I can imagine over the whole Whitfield County. And I know there's some people that own more than 12 acres. But if you own like 15, 20 acres, you can get CUVA if you don't want to, if you just want to take and set that aside for conservation and not do anything to the property. You can use CUVA, and that will reduce your property tax rate tremendously. But where your house is on it, it won't. But that's just some information. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all guys. I've been in meetings with other companies and stuff. I would not want your job. You couldn't pay me to take your job, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't want to face all these people right here and all the rest of them in the county, because I know every one of them is needing their money. They don't want to have to pay taxes. If y'all can lower that millage rate and keep it low for a couple of years, I know everybody in here would greatly appreciate it. And I know me and my wife would too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Do the assessors have meetings?
Yes. They're public too.
Thank you.
All right, you're gonna wrap us up.
My name is Eddie Miles, and I live on, they changed my name, Gray Fox Way.
They changed your name or your street?
Pardon?
They didn't change your name, they changed your
They
street.
changed my street
I
name,
didn't know if you had an
yeah.
alias or
I
not.
started to say Ag Mill Road, but it's been changed.
That's where I'm
But
from.
first thing I want to do is congratulate you guys, because you've drawn a bigger crowd than the Joe Biden rally. So I've sat here now for over an hour and a half, and I've listened to the people come up and make their comments. It seems to me like, at the different things that were said, the people are confused about a tax commissioner, a tax assessor, county commissioner, board of commissioners. They're confused about where all this taxes is coming from.
And the school board, don't forget.
The big school board, that's what I was gonna say. Your biggest part of their taxes is from the school board. Why don't people go to those meetings, show up, and speak their mind like they're doing here? Go to the Board of Assessors meetings, speak up like you're doing here. They're the ones that, at the assessors, is where the prices of your property are going sky high. And from what I understand, the gentleman said, you ask them what happened, they say, I don't know. I think they got somebody from outside to assess the properties. That's what I've heard.
For commercial they did.
Huh?
For commercial properties, that's true.
For commercials, yeah. So, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these figures you've got up there, and you're talking about a 23% increase on the millage rate, not the price of the property, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, 23% on the millage rate. And I look up here and you send out assessments, or the assessments went out, I mean, at 5.
That was our estimate. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I understand this right, you're going to roll back from the 5 to 4.35 and then add 23% to that.
No.
Okay,
That's
explain
just,
that.
those are 3 different options. Those are 3 options.
Okay.
There's more, but those are just the 3 that I put
What
out there.
figure are you going to use to increase 23 mills, or 23%, I mean?
That first number, the 5.25, that's what we put in the paper, and that's the 23%. Even though the millage rate's technically less than last year, 5.5, that's what we said, 5.5 mills. The paper we advertised 5.25, which is less, but because of the assessments that you alluded to, that's where you get the 23%, because it doesn't wipe out the entire assessment amount.
Okay.
And then as you go down 5 or 4.35, then you basically are wiping out almost all of the increases on valuations.
That's why you don't get any new growth we're not picking up any new growth if we roll all the way back.
That's why we've been at 20 million for
There's no
5 years.
no new growth being added to
Okay,
To the budget, to the budget.
what figure, what millage rate is going to be used that you increase it 23%?
Well, that's our worst case scenario, which is 5.25.
That's the worst.
Yes,
You could go back to 4.35
that would be legal, yes.
and say, we're gonna raise that 23%.
No, there'll be no 23%. The only 23% is related to 5.25. Everything else is less, and 4.35 is basically 0 or 1%, you know, give or take a point, but it's basically flat. That's why I put flat by there.
Okay.
23% is the top, and
So
4.35
you guys-
is 0 or 1,
You guys, you gentlemen.
or something in
I'm sorry.
between.
You gentlemen, you're gonna make a decision if you're gonna do 5.25,
Yep,
we're gonna do 5,
right?
or we're gonna roll it
Less.
back to 4.35.
Correct, you got it.
I think there's
A week from today, a week from
Yeah,
today.
a big confusion about what figure are you using to increase, or which figure, which would be 23%, up to the 5.25.
That's the worst. Everything
Yeah.
else is less, or 0.
And it looks to me like if, I used to be pretty good figured, on a $250,000 piece of property,
Yes.
if you take it to 5.25,
Here we go.
that's like $60 on a $250,000 house.
She calculated, I don't remember what the exact number was though, it's in the paper,
$70 to $80.
a year.
$80
Yeah.
on a $250,000, that would be the increase.
That's right.
It's not like $500 or
Well,
$1,000.
people said something about $500, that'd be your total bill almost. You know,
That-
That's not the increase,
okay,
that's the total bill.
And I think that's where a lot of the
They are.
confusion
It's
is.
very, and the state does no help to people, the way they have everything laid out in the legalese, that is confusing as well. I'm sure I don't speak perfectly every time, that's confusing, but yeah, it is very
I
complicated.
know I could probably turn around here to everybody in here and say, what do y'all want? They're gonna say, 0.435, sure we do.
Right.
Sure we don't, but
And
you
I know
guys have to
I know nobody
operate.
wants 5.25, and I'm on the record saying I don't want it either, so we'll see what we can.
I know you did,
Yep.
and somebody else shook their head no
Yep.
too.
That's what we'll
But
do.
you're like talking about $60 on a $250,000 house.
60 to 70, so it's $1.
Or $80, yeah, 80, I think that's what I came up with. when I did my
$1.50 a
figure.
week or something, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
$5 a week, $6 a week.
No, not that much, that'd be $300, no, just a dollar a week.
Oh, I mean a month.
Oh, a month.
I mean a month, I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, that's what I wanted to say, and listening to the people today, I see where all the confusion is. And I think that
We all have to live in it.
that we all need to go to the assessors meetings and school board meetings for
That's your
sure.
biggest takeaway, those are two great takeaways from you and the other
School board
gentleman.
is the biggest.
Because it's the school system that's keeping our taxes up here so high. It's a school system. Everybody asks, wanna go, can you show where you're spending the money? Sure you can. School board, show us where you're spending your money. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, and let you guys go have some lunch. Thank y'all.
Appreciate everybody coming out. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner State. We'll see y'all next Friday. You don't have to come again, it's gonna be the same thing, but you can if you want to.